Hi everyone, and welcome to our final Boo at the Zoo video. I cannot express how excited I am for Spectre Twirlers getting an opportunity to perform in light of everything going on right now. We are just so excited for the opportunity, and I'm going to be covering some specific details about the event as a whole, and then talking about safety concerns and talking about equipment. And then if you have any questions after this video, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. Let's get started. At this point, everyone should know the two dates that we are performing, but just a refresher, these are the two dates we are performing. If you were only doing one night for Boo at the Zoo, I would appreciate it if you let me know which date, so that way our roster can be accurate for each night. We are meeting in front of the zoo by 5 p.m. More specifically, we are meeting to the right of the entrance gate to the zoo, which is our reindeer station, which is what this photo shows you. Of course, if you see a bunch of pink shirts, you will probably be able to find us. But the first safety concern I want to address is temperature checks will be taking place for everybody who is performing. And then once everyone arrives and is temperature checked and checked in, we will walk together to the performance area. Now I want to cover a little bit about the event in general. The next safety concern I want to address is limited capacity in the zoo. Those of you who have been with me before and participated in Boo at the Zoo, crowds are not going to be as extensive at Boo at the Zoo. One issue we've had in the past is twirlers trying to participate in the event after we finish performing. Unfortunately, that is not allowed. We are not paying guests. We are simply there to perform at Boo at the Zoo. If you would like to participate as guests, you're welcome to come back a different night. There's lots of different nights to choose from over 3 different weekends, but make sure that we are not there to get any candy or anything like that. We could actually get in trouble for that. So we do not want to do that while we are performing. One other note that you will see at the bottom of this photo is that there is free parking for the event, whether you are coming to do the performance or you are coming to attend the event as a guest. At this point, everyone should know that we are performing down at Grasslands at the large concrete pad. This is a photo to reference exactly where we are going to be at Boo at the Zoo. To the right of the large concrete pad is the parent seating area. It is up to the adults to ensure proper social distancing. If you are comfortable sitting with another twirler's parents that you are familiar with, that is completely fine. But we will try to help make sure everybody is spread out and safe at Boo at the Zoo. Also, directly behind the parent seating area are the restrooms. Twirlers will have an opportunity to use the restroom at any point in time they are not twirling during Boo at the Zoo. Twirlers are also welcome to bring snacks and drinks to have during their break at Boo at the Zoo. In case there are any allergies, let's not bring anything peanut related in case there is a nut allergy. And just a reminder from the previous video about Boo at the Zoo, Miss Debbie and I are going to be using tape, and we're going to be placing it on the concrete so twirlers know exactly where to stand and in order to spread out and be safe during our performance at Boo at the Zoo. Also, more specifically about our performance area, we have done this previously in the past when we have been in this area, but especially in light of COVID-19, we are going to be creating a barrier between the twirlers and the audience. The audience will be at least 10 feet away from our twirlers. Let's talk about equipment at Boo at the Zoo. In addition to batons, Miss Debbie and I have special equipment for each group to use at Boo at the Zoo. Twirlers will not be touching anyone's baton or other equipment at Boo at the Zoo except their own. we are going to have special buckets and other ways for twirlers to keep their stuff separate from other twirlers so no one is touching others' belongings. This is an example of a bucket that a twirler will use to put their piece of equipment in the bucket so no one is touching their equipment during Boo at the Zoo. For our younger twirlers, we will have an initial on the white bucket to help designate where their equipment is supposed to go for Boo at the Zoo. If your twirler has their own special equipment, they may bring it for them to use at Boo at the Zoo. The next safety concern is about mask. Do twirlers have to wear a mask? The answer is no. Per Zoo Knoxville's policy, which follows City of Knoxville, masks are only required when you go indoors. For example, a restroom or an indoor exhibit area. And for us, we should only be going into the restroom at Boo at the Zoo. Everyone will need to bring a mask just in case you or your twirler needs to use the restroom at Boo at the Zoo. If you would feel more comfortable with your twirler wearing a mask during Boo at the Zoo, that is absolutely fine. We want everyone to be comfortable at Boo at the Zoo. We have a very limited quantity of Spectra Pink mask. It is a 3-layer mask. Please let me know if you would like to reserve one for the night that your twirler is coming. Again, these masks are extremely limited, but we want everyone to be comfortable and safe at Boo at the Zoo and have fun. Parents, if you are comfortable with your twirler being outside and not wearing a mask, that is completely fine. Again, we want to be safe and have fun doing so at Boo at the Zoo. Now that we have talked about mask, let's talk about our performance during the night of Boo at the Zoo. One question you may have is how many times is the opening number performed? And the answer to that is multiple times. So let me explain. The event runs from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we're going to have different guests throughout that time coming down to see us. So for example, we might do the opening number about 5:30 as guests are coming through the zoo and heading towards the performance area. Then about 20 minutes later, we'll probably do it again. And then 20 minutes later, we'll probably do it again. You see what I'm saying? In between the opening numbers, we're going to have our teams doing little mini routines. Our tots are doing Scooby-Doo. Juveniles are doing the Addams Family. Junior minis are doing Harry Potter. And the junior team is doing The Nightmare Before Christmas. This will allow twirlers to be able to take a restroom break, a snack or drink break while they're performing at Boo at the Zoo. There will be times that we will be twirling together, for example, the opening number, but then there's also those opportunities for those little breaks as each group and some individuals perform at Boo at the Zoo. If you have got friends that are coming to the zoo as guests, I will do my best to communicate with parents when the next opportunity is going to be for the opening number. So you can message your friends and people can come visit us at Boo at the Zoo. And as we're heading towards the end of this video, I just want to take another opportunity and remind everyone that if you are doing just one night, just to please email me, message me, let me know at your twirler's next practice that you are just doing one of the 2 nights at Boo. This is going to allow me to be a little bit more organized when it comes to social distancing the twirlers, putting the tape down, because we're going to be able to know who specifically is doing the 10th and who specifically is doing the 18th. So I just appreciate your help with this. That way we can be really organized and have a really successful night at Boo at the Zoo. The final safety concern that I want to address is specifically pictures with guests. Those of you that have done Boo at the Zoo before know that our guests are very appreciative of what we do and absolutely love seeing us perform at Boo at the Zoo. So sometimes guests will want to take photos with us. If that was to take place again this year, Miss Debbie and I are going to be making sure this is done extremely safely. Let me explain. As mentioned before, in our performance area, guests are going to be at least 10 feet away from us. If any guests ask us for any pictures, we are going to have the guests stay on their side of the barrier. And then any twirlers that feel comfortable standing on our side of the barrier can take the photo with the guest and wave and smile and tell them happy Halloween and thanks for coming to Boo at the Zoo. Parents, if you are not comfortable with your twirler participating in a photo with guests, that is perfectly fine. But anyone who wants to take a photo with guests, as in this picture from last year, you can spread out and gather, and we will take that picture for that guest. But with this year, we are not sure if guests are going to be asking for photos or not, but I did want to address the safety concern in case it was to happen. But again, they are going to be far away from us, and Miss Debbie and I will do everything to make it very safe at Boo at the Zoo. All right, parents, so I believe I have covered everything and beyond. I appreciate you taking the time to watch and listen to this video. I just wanted to make sure that I communicated all of the information, some reminders, but then also going through those safety concerns and then talking about equipment, because I know that twirlers will want to touch other people's stuff, and we just have to remember that right now it is just not the time to do that. So thank you so much for, again, watching. And if you have any questions, if there's something that I didn't cover thoroughly or I missed something, please feel free to message me or email me, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. But otherwise, I will see you all at your next practice. Thank you so much.